In a dramatic twist that has stunned Africa's political landscape, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, leader of Burkina Faso, alongside Russian intelligence partners, has reportedly unearthed damning information about a prominent African leader's role in the betrayal and assassination of Thomas Sankara, Africa's most iconic revolutionary. This revelation has reignited decades-old questions about who orchestrated Sankara's downfall and why. With geopolitical tensions rising and African nations increasingly rejecting neo-colonial influence, this exposé may be more than just historical reckoning. It could trigger a political earthquake across the continent. Here's the full 1,000-word breakdown. Fire who is Thomas Sankara? Before diving into the betrayal, it's important to recall who Thomas Sankara was. Dubbed Africa's Che Guevara, Sankara took power in Burkina Faso in 1983 through a popular military coup. In just 4 short years, he transformed the West African country into a model of self-reliance, renamed it from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, land of upright people, and launched bold reforms. Cutting foreign aid, redistributing land, banning luxury for public officials, empowering women and youth, calling out corrupt African elites and foreign puppeteers. His fierce independence and outspoken criticism of neo-colonialism earned him admiration from the people and enemies among elites in Africa and the West. On October 15, 1987, Thomas Sankara was assassinated in a coup led by his then-friend Blaise Compaoré. But many have long believed other African leaders, foreign intelligence agencies, and even regional blocs were involved. Bomb the new revelation. Traoré and Russia step in. Fast forward to 2025. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who has emerged as Sankara's ideological heir, is now leading a revolutionary government in Burkina Faso. Under his rule, the country has expelled French troops, strengthened ties with Russia, Iran, Cuba, and other global South allies, and re-embraced anti-imperialist rhetoric. According to classified leaks shared by a Kremlin-linked media outlet and whistleblowers within the Alliance of Sahel States, Russia provided Traoré's government with declassified Soviet-era intelligence documents and intercepted communications dating back to the 1980s. These documents reportedly implicate a sitting African leader in assisting Western powers to sabotage and ultimately remove Thomas Sankara. The unnamed leader, still alive and in power today, is accused of providing intelligence to French operatives, holding secret meetings with U.S. and Ivorian envoys before the coup, using diplomatic channels to lobby for Sankara's removal, calling him a regional destabilizer. What's shocking is that this leader has long portrayed himself as a Pan-Africanist, even invoking Sankara's name in speeches. Face screaming in fear, who is the betrayer? While Traoré's team has not officially named the leader, the clues are damning and the internet is buzzing with speculation. Among the top suspects, an aging West African president with a long-standing relationship with France, a head of state in a resource-rich country who rose to prominence in the 1980s, a veteran of African Union politics known for opposing revolutionary populism behind closed doors. Many suspect this could be a former ally of Compaoré who publicly distanced himself from the coup, but privately worked to appease Western governments and regional elites threatened by Sankara's reforms. It's believed that the Russian files include audio recordings and decrypted embassy cables that reference payments, surveillance reports, and meeting logs involving this leader and European intelligence agents. Firecracker, why now? Why would Ibrahim Traoré and his Russian allies release this information now? There are several reasons. Moral reckoning. Traoré has long described Sankara as a mentor. This revelation may be a personal and national attempt to restore truth to Burkina Faso's tragic history. Political strategy. By exposing enemies of Sankara, Traoré draws a clear line between genuine revolutionaries and African sellouts, a message to both domestic opponents and regional leaders. Regional realignment. The ES bloc, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, is distancing itself from ECOWAS, which they accuse of being a Western proxy. This exposé could delegitimize ECOWAS-aligned leaders who preach unity but acted against Sankara's vision. Geopolitical messaging. Russia benefits from framing the West as the villain and positioning itself as a protector of African sovereignty. This move deepens African-Russian ties in the battle against imperialism. Balance scale, public reaction, and political fallout. The public response has been explosive. In Burkina Faso, muralists painted images of Traoré and Sankara side by side, with slogans like "Justice for Sankara is justice for Africa." Protesters in Bamako and Niamey have demanded that the traitorous leader be named and tried in a Pan-African court. In contrast, leaders of several West African nations have remained strikingly silent, with only vague statements about the importance of peace and unity. Some suspect panic behind the scenes, especially among those with historical ties to France's post-colonial networks in the region. Civil society movements across Africa are now demanding full declassification of foreign intervention documents, especially from France, Côte d'Ivoire, and the United States. Calls to boycott French businesses and ECOWAS-affiliated organizations are gaining traction. Direct hit Traoré's bigger goal. Make no mistake, this expose is part of a larger political and ideological war. Captain Traoré is trying to reclaim Africa's narrative, strip away the lies told by foreign-backed leaders, and ignite a Pan-African resurgence rooted in truth, courage, and defiance. By aligning himself with Sankara's legacy and exposing the betrayal behind his death, Traoré sends a message. Africa will no longer forgive treachery disguised as diplomacy. He's building not just a military alliance in the Sahel, but a moral coalition where betrayal of African interests is no longer protected by elite silence. Stop sign. What comes next? International inquiry? There are rumors that Burkina Faso's government may demand a trial, or even pursue charges against the unnamed leader at the African Court on Human and People's Rights. Diplomatic fallout. If the accused leader is named, it could lead to sanctions, political isolation, or even internal unrest in his country. Wave of truth-telling. Other African nations may be pressured to release hidden archives and face their own dark histories, especially where foreign assassinations or coups were covered up. Sankara once said, "While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas." By exposing the betrayal behind Sankara's murder, Traoré is doing more than avenging a fallen hero. He's reviving the very idea Sankara died for: a free, united, and fearless Africa. The question now is, will the rest of the continent follow this truth, or will it bury it once again under the weight of silence?